Hey everybody, Nos here. So Yegs asked me if I would make a video of my Extreme Alliance battle play, and I'm going to try to do that every day over the next 7 days. The only day that I am not great at is Universal Hero Day. I don't have a character that can really just put up points for that day. But what I wanted to go over before I start going through the characters I use is I wanted to go over cards, because cards they have a huge impact on how you're going to do an alliance battle. So I see everybody talking about different cards in the chat, and I wanted to focus on the cards that I use. They're the best cards that I've seen. I know if you go look at videos outside of, I think there's some Korean cards or something people have that they paid a butt ton of money for. These are probably the 5 best cards you can use right now in the game. Mine aren't all super high stars or whatever numbers. Like I've got a 5, 3, a 5, 4, and a 7. But these are the cards that you want to try to aim to get. The first one is the Punisher 19 card. The reason you want this one is because the permanent stats are ignore defense and attack speed. And you can also get all attack and cooldown duration as a roll in the bottom ones. Where I have mine resist and lightning resist, you can also get, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but there's better stats for those as well. The Nebula Avengers card, once again, you have ignore defense as a permanent stat. You can get physical attack, cooldown duration, all defense on rolls. So cooldown duration, ignore defense, those are 2 of the primary stats you want to have maxed. The Groot card, critical damage and ignore defense are the set stats. You can also get crit rate, attacks, or all attack, attack speed, and I believe in that lightning resist spot you can also roll cooldown, skill cooldown time. Loki card, you have all attack and cooldown duration on the permanent stats. You can also roll all defense, physical attack, and ignore defense, and I can't remember, there's a 4th roll you can get. So you can get a lot of cooldown, skill cooldown, and ignore defense straight from your cards. The Civil War 4, which is the Thor card, it's really hard to get. It took me about a month and a half to get it, and then I re-rolled it. I rolled it twice, and if you don't know what re-rolling is, it's when you want to, I think it's a combine. You can combine another card and hopefully roll for a higher level card. This one happened to roll a 7. It's got all attack, all defense, or physical defense as the set stats. You can also get cooldown duration, critical damage, and ignore defense on that as well. So with the cards that I currently have, any character I have has a base ignore defense of 38.6 and a base skill cooldown duration of 25.2. And I don't know if you guys know how it works, but the max stat on ignore defense is 50, and the max stat on cooldown duration is 50. We also get, right now with where our alliance is at, we get a 12% skill cooldown bonus. So if you add that to the cooldown duration of my cards, I automatically have 37% skill cooldown duration. Alright, so the only thing that I have to work on as far as getting Uru or with my gear is to get 13% skill cooldown duration to max it. And on my ignore defense, I only have to get 12 to max it. So that's what you want to work on, is to try to get your cards to have these base stats almost maxed when you, so that you don't have to use Uru on those main stats, you can use them elsewhere. So moving on into Extreme Alliance Battle for Universal Villain Day. I use Corvus. I didn't mean to back out. I use Corvus. I don't have him maxed. He's actually pretty low. I can get 100,000. I don't always get 100,000. Today I didn't get it the first try, and I got it the second try. And then I tried to record a video for you guys earlier, and in 2 gameplays I didn't get it then. But for his gear, I only have it at 15 because I'm working on Odin. but you want the re-rollable stats. You want the first stat at physical attack per level and then all attacks. On the second gear, you want energy defense per level and all defense. On the third gear, you want HP per level on that first one. I don't have it. And then you want all HP on the rest of them. And on his fourth gear, you want either skill cooldown, defensive penetration if you need one of those two. If you don't need them, then you can go with crit rate or crit damage. For his gear, or for his obelisk, I have a crit rate obelisk on him, and I have that simply on there for the damage proc that gives me 140% for one attack. Skills, I only have, I think the fifth skill, well, no, even the fifth skill is at max, but fourth skill maxed. I mistakenly maxed out the third skill, I didn't mean to. And the second skill maxed. The second skill and the fourth skill are the two main skills that you want to have maxed. The fifth skill you can max, but you're only going to use it to get the immunity that comes out of it. Because you will get, I think it's a 6-second immunity. I can't remember off the top of my head. For ISO set, I have overdrive. I don't have all of the ISO maxed on him, so I can work on him there. Even though his gears aren't maxed, I can improve him here. The reason you want overdrive is because it will give you the all attack and crit rate, crit damage, and ignore defense procs on it. On top of it, it also has a damage proc of 20% of all attacks. And as you increase your ISO 8 you have in there, that damage proc I think goes up to 40 if you have all awakened ISO 8s. He doesn't have a uniform, but if you look at my overall skills, my ignore defense is almost maxed, and my skill cooldown duration, I have about 8% more to be able to max them right now. When our alliance gets to level 30, you will only have to take that skill cooldown duration up to 36 to have it maxed, even though it doesn't show our alliance bonus in there. So let's go ahead and see if we can get 100,000 points on this Extreme Alliance Battle roll. We're going to use Thanos as the lead in order to get the 36% all attack. We're going to use Corvus, of course, and then we're going to throw Proxima in there. Proxima will give us the Cabal team bonus with all attack, and the Cabal's Knight bonus with Corvus for all attack. And let's hope and pray I can get 100,000 points. Corvus usually dies before the end, and I have to finish it out with Thanos, but we'll see. So the first thing we'll do is let the beast animation always go all the way through, because that way all of the little minions around them will have time to spawn before you get in there. As soon as you get in there, I'll roll out with a Thanos pull, and then I'll switch to Corvus and immediately hit the 5, interrupt it to the 4, and then start with the 2. So you want to use the 2, you want to get 2 rotations of the 2 in before you use the 5 skill again. And I'm really not doing so hot right now. Oh crap, and I got nagged. Hopefully I won't die. If I do die, guys, I'm sorry, but just know, you'll see at the end that I did break 100,000 a day. I'm just not doing too hot tonight. You want the minions. What the minions will do is they should take the brunt of the meteors, and they'll focus. The meteors will dagnabbit. The meteors will focus on the minions, and the beast will focus on the minions instead of focusing on you. And if you play it right, which I'm not really playing it right now, then they really shouldn't hit you. Snap! I thought I did the damage proc there, or the skill there, and I didn't. But you want to try to keep that evasion meter up as high as you can. I'm getting hit. I mean, if I die, you can see if your skill cooldown is right. You can easily break 100,000 with him almost every time. Just my skill cooldown is just not there where it needs to be to do this consistently. You see how the minions are just and I knew I was going to die from that, but that's all right. The minions were targeting the minions and the beast were targeting my clone or my summons instead of Corvus. If you have to go into Thanos, the skill rotation is typically 5. 5, 4, and then in 5, 4, 3, and then back into the 5. I might break 100,000 with this run, even though Corvus died. So it was rough, but I did break 100,000. Barely, but if you see, my high score earlier was 134,973. So the big thing is get your skill cooldown duration up, get your ignore defense up, and then start working on crit rate and crit damage. So tomorrow I'm going to try to run the Extreme Alliance Battle Speed Day with Elsa. I've not ran it with this setup yet, so tomorrow when I get home from work, I will make a video and put Elsa out there, and hopefully that all works out, guys. And I'll see you in the chat.